That video in task number 1 was supposed to make you laugh. It was supposed to be funny, all right? And it's expecting you to already know the game of Rochambeau. And if you don't know the game of Rochambeau, the way it works is you have 3 weapons to choose from. You have a rock, you have a paper, and you have a scissors. Right? And you're playing with an opponent, and you say Rochambeau, and on bow you choose with your hand either the rock, the paper, or the scissors, and so does your opponent. So at the same time. And the way that works is if it's rock versus rock, that means it's a tie. And if it's scissor versus scissor, that means it's a tie. And a paper versus paper, it's a tie. But if it's a rock versus scissor, the rock beats the scissors. Because of course the scissors can't cut the rock. And then if it is rock versus paper, well, the paper can cover the rock, so the paper wins. And if it is scissor versus paper, well, of course the scissor can cut the paper, so the scissor wins. And now the video was funny because they kept getting tie over and over again, and they just kept playing faster and faster and faster. So this is the next task here is for you to program a game of Rochambeau, but a game where it's text-based. Right? And let me show you how this works. Let me run my Rochambeau program. Now look and see what it does. It prints out a welcome message at the top, and then it gives them the rules. Right? You can choose rock, paper, or scissor, and enter my choice. Now I am going to choose rock because I'm a rock man. I always win with rock, or not always, but usually. So I'm going to enter that in and hit enter. And it says computer chose scissors, you have won. Right? So the rock has defeated the scissors. So this is the game of Rochambeau. And now what I want you to do in the challenge exercise is to program this. And this challenge exercise is for you to create the entire game, because you should know everything that is needed in order to put this together. Okay? You should know how to print out the welcome message. You should know how to print out the choices. You should know how to take in the input as a string. Now from there, what needs to happen? The computer needs to choose either rock, paper, or scissors. So how can the computer choose? Well, the computer needs to choose randomly. So what you can do here is you can create a random number that has 3 possibilities. Now the first set of numbers that comes to my mind is a random number from 0, 1, or 2. Right? A random number from 0 to 2. So we've gone over how to do that. So I'm going to ask you to do that. And if you don't remember, you want to go back to the random module, right? The exercises or tasks asking you to use the random module, and review that. So computer is going to choose his weapon, either 0, 1, or 2. And then once that happens, well, you have the user's choice right here. You have the computer's choice, 0, 1, or 2. And now you need to determine who won. Now how do you determine who won? Right? Well, what do we have available to us? We have branches and we have loops. Right? Which one of those is going to help us determine who won? Well, of course, the branches, because the branch is where you check. Right? That's the way I like to think about it. It's like you're checking for something. You have an if statement that's checking. Now you're going to check to see who won. Now how can you see who won? Well, if the user chooses rock and the computer chooses scissors, then you print out you won. Now you need to check for other options as well, right? Because there are different options, right? The user could have chosen rock, and the computer could have also chosen rock. And if he did, then you need to print out you tied. Right? And also there's a third possibility. The user could have chosen rock, and the computer could have chosen paper. And in that case, you want to print out you lost. So that's to get you started. Go ahead and try to program that, and we'll go over your results in the next task.